Hello, 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 welcome back. It is time to design some magic items. And I thought the helmet, the helm, the thing you stick on your head would be a good idea. So that's what we're going to cover today. I kind of cheated a little bit. I started early, so I've got a few already plugged into my document. But we're still going to make a whole bunch of stuff today, so don't worry about that. That's certainly going to happen. I'm going to put up a poll, so feel free to take part in that poll if you want to. And I suggest grabbing some food, some drink, making sure you're comfortable, and we're going to get started into making a whole bunch of stuff very, very soon. So yes, I am ready. You are ready. I'm sure, and yeah, let's make this happen. I pressed the wrong button. Yeah, I did. Okay, all right, this button here. Hi, welcome to HowtoRPG. My name is Fred Weller, and today I want to talk about tabletop role-playing games, and we're going to design, make, create magic items that are helmets, things you stick on your head. Heck, we might even do a crown. They could be a helmet, they could be a helm, you could call it a crown, you might call it a tiara. I mean, I don't mind, but if it's on your head, that is what we're creating for today. I have a document that I've already started, and I am going to try to make these as system agnostic as I possibly can. So you can plug them into any version of D&D or any kind of clone of D&D, whether that be Pathfinder or whatever you're playing right now. Shadow Dark, because Shadow Dark is my new jam right now, and I know I haven't done a review, and I will, but not yet. But yes, so I want to be able to plug it into as many different things as possible. So I'm going to be focusing very much on as much as possible system agnostic. I have a document ready to go, which I will share with you. And I believe I can see there's already a few people who've presented a couple of ideas. So let's just go over and check those out. I'm taking the hat off. It's really, really, really hot today. And there's building going on next door, so that is going to be a lot more fun. So I see Fred Huber. I can't actually see your... Oh, this is about dad jokes and meaningless random stuff. I'm just thinking about whether I would want to create that. It's obviously a goof magic item, but I'm just trying to decide whether I would want to include that. Probably not. I got to say now. Oh, there we go. That makes it easier. What did YouTube do? It actually put everything at the bottom rather than at the top. Makes it so much easier to see everything. Helm of Random Thoughts. Do you know, the Helm of Random Thoughts gives me another idea that I would like to pursue. It's a little strange. I don't know that it's necessarily that useful, but it would definitely be interesting in terms of a role-playing exercise. And that is the Helmet of Whispers. So yeah, so that laugh is the laugh of Fred, who has a naughty idea in his mind. So Helm of Whispers. I think that's something we should definitely consider creating fairly shortly, based off Fred Huber's. Fred Huber is a patron and a moderator. Thank you for being here today. So if I go here, Helm of Whispers, and then... And I got that. While we're in this helmet, you const here. Oops. Should be showing this, I suppose, to you constantly here. Hearing here a whispering voice. And I'm going to just go for rest. Okay, what else do we have here? Pale Rider. Hello, Pale Rider. So Helm of Firebolts. I don't think it's likely to happen, dude. Can be any type of helm. The wearer can shoot twin firebolts at an enemy. This counts as an action attack and must look at target until... I was fine making I think, gauntlet or gloves of fire or firebolts or whatever. For a helm, I think it's not really... It doesn't fit. So I'm probably not going to take one Pale Rider. So yeah, I don't really consider a helm something that we would use to necessarily attack with. There is one way I can see it being used as an attack, but that's not the one. I feel like a helmet, if we're going to use it to attack, it would have to be some sort of psychic damage that's going on. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what you would call that, but I feel like it would have to be more around some sort of psychic damage. I don't think a firebolt one is really where my head would be at with something like that. Oh, the pun is not intended. Okay, all right, here we go. So I don't know what helm of psychics or helmet of psychic helmet. I don't know, psychic. I don't know. What would you call it? Psychic helmet. And then it does something. I'll come back to that idea. All right. But yeah, fire damage is probably not going to be the thing that we go for. I don't think so. All right. Helm of trap finding. Oh, hell no. The helm has a 75% chance of spotting a trap. The wearer will know how the trap works and the best way to try and remove it. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Players hate traps quite often, but I would never make a magic item that circumvents traps when traps very rarely in modern D&D work, and in older versions of D&D work too well. But yeah, that's where my head is at. Here we go. Helm of random thoughts. The helm has a 75% chance. Oh, no. Helm of the DM passes the player notes, meaningless random dad jokes. Okay, so we've got that there already. I've got an idea around that. I think we're going to go with the whisper one. It's something a DM can really play with. It certainly can. Yeah. I have noted it down, but it's given me another idea, which I'm going to probably go with. Helm of ramming. I like the idea, Pale Rider, that the helm of ramming does get my vote. It gets my vote for sure. So I'll make a note of that as well. I'm going to put these in here. These are ideas that I have to come back to. I'll make sure I put this one here in the one earlier ones to work on, because I like that idea. Not pretty much. Probably going to happen. Probably going to happen. So let me just type in here quick instructions. Hashtag. What are your magic helmet or crown ideas? And helm will speak with something. It can be very specific or general. Oh, so you know, basically helmet of languages. Basically, you can speak to a. I'm not against that idea. To be fair, I'm really not against that idea at all. I actually think that's a pretty good idea. So let's put that in to work on. But I need to get onto this document so you can see what we've got here so far, and then I'm going to need to start working on these things. Okay, so we've got them in. I've taken down the notes. All right, let's go over to my document where I have already started, because that's what I tend to do sometimes. I jumped the gun a little bit, but here we go. Here it is. Yes, there we go. This is the page. I have started here. So a couple of things. You will notice that I have kind of included stuff that I thought was easy to implement into another game, or is narrative enough that it would be fine. That's kind of what I'm doing here. So the helmet of heroism, wondrous item, common. I think common's fine. Requires attunement, because I tend to believe that if you have anything that just has an effect that constantly going on, then you probably should have attunement on it, just so that you don't have people. I don't really want players dripping with magic items. I don't care what game you're playing, but that's really up to you whether you apply attunement to it or not. Or you might not even be using 5e, so attunement doesn't apply. While wearing this helmet, you are immune to being frightened and magical fear effects. Really simple. Could utilize that in literally any game system, if you ask me. I think that would be perfectly fine. So that was my first port of call. That's the one that sort of came to me. And then I've got one here that's not labeled. It's just got helmet of ? That's not the name. I just could not figure out what to call it. But it's a wondrous item. It's common, requires attunement, and while wearing this helmet, you are immune to being charmed and magical charm effects. Now, I was trying to think whether I needed to go beyond being a common magic item, but because there aren't that many spells that sort of stop you from being charmed, I can't think of any. But if you can think of some, let me know, and I'll rethink this. So I thought this was perfectly fine as a common magic item. Okay. Next, I need a name for this though. So if you can come up with a good name for something that allows you to be immune to being charmed, that would be helpful. I just, for some reason, I can't figure out what I would call that, which is weird because, moving on. Miner's helmet. This is based off and reminds me of the old miner's helmet that had a candle on top or a lantern or whatever so that they could see. It didn't have like a electrical flash torch or whatever, but also the light cantrip or a light spell, whether you're using the cantrip or the light spell, depending on what version of D&D or what game you're playing. I thought it would be nice to apply this in some way. So while wearing this helmet, you can use a free action to emit light from the helmet that sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light for an additional 20-foot. Light can be any color you like. And I think we should put a time limit on it. The more and more I've been playing HowtoDandD, although this is probably less important for other games, but the more and more I've been playing HowtoDandD, the more and more I've started to realize that if I wanted to put this into a HowtoDandD game, it would be really important to ensure that I don't undermine the game. So the light can be any color you like and lasts 1 hour per day. So it's like I use it once per day if we're going to get an hour of light off your helmet. It's basically a torch that you don't have to hold. Does it need to have attunement? This is probably one of those ones where I don't think attunement is necessary. I'm going to take attunement away because it's basically just one free torch in HowtoDandD, and it's just really the light cantrip. And I think in Dungeons and Dragons, the light cantrip or the light spell lasts. It's had different time frames in the past, hasn't it? Well, why am I grabbing this? I got all this loaded up on so you can see what I'm mucking with. Is the light cantrip here, or do I have to go to another page? Light cantrip, light cantrip. For the life of me, I can't even remember what the time. Oh, it's an hour. So it's an hour in this game, and it's a cantrip. But you wouldn't have to use a spell, which is kind of helpful, and you wouldn't have to hold a torch, which is helpful again. Frankly, that's helpful in any version of a game that you're playing. If you don't have to hold a torch that lasts an hour or burns for an hour, that's pretty helpful. One use per day. I don't want it to be an action to turn it back on again. I'm happy with it being a free action because that just eliminates bullshit bonus actions and burning up your action when you really want to make an attack. Don't want that, and I don't want to give it charges, so it's just one use, 1 per day. Yep, it's a common magic item. There you go. Next one. This is another one that I was cooking up. It's based heavily off an existing magic item. I think it's there. Is there a Helm of Intelligence? The only difference is this is designed slightly differently. While wearing this helmet, you get a +1 bonus to intelligence checks and saving throws. Now, HowtoDandD doesn't have saving throws, but D&D does, most versions of it. A +1 bonus to saving throws is generally useful. I think basic D&D, the idea is you have to get higher, so a +1 to your dice roll would be useful for the for that, I guess. It's just yeah, how would you port it over? And then it would be easy to apply to the likes of, what would it be easy to apply to? I think you'd easily apply it to AD&D. Pathfinder might be a bit more difficult. 3.5 and 4 might be more difficult here, just because of the +1 bonus. It might even be, the smartest way might simply be to give you a +2 bonus to your intelligence score, because then it's right across the board and right across the board, and it's baked in, just as I want it to be baked in. It's supposed to affect intelligence checks, so that it would do. That would then transfer into intelligence checks and the intelligence saving throw, and if you were using a skill system like at 5e or whatever, it would still be baked into that. That might actually be smarter. But there is a magic item which is kind of like this already. So Helm of Brilliance, where are we? What am I looking at? I'm looking at intelligence, aren't I? Which is starting with an I. So if I go back or down or something like that, where? Brilliance. Helm of Dread, Helm of Brilliance. What is this? Helm of Brilliance. It's rare. This is not what I was, so this is not like it doesn't sort of emit light. So we haven't kind of stumbled into somebody else's creation, created a problem for ourselves. The Helm of Comprehend Languages already exists. It's uncommon. So while we're in this, you cast a Comprehend Languages from it. Now, I don't have to word it that way. It could be, but I would have to call it something else. Do you know what I mean? Even if it had a similar effect, it would have to be something else. Yeah. Now, let's go back again. Let's look at the other one. I'm sure there is something that's around intelligence here. Or is it older? It might be an older version of D&D that has a Helm of Intelligence. Somebody will let me know if I'm wrong or right about that. So I've got Helmet of Intelligence. Let's make this so it's easier to port across to more games. +2 bonus to intelligent while wearing this helmet, you get a +2 bonus to intelligent to your intelligence score. Done. Score. Apparently I'm having trouble. Oh, that's what it is. I gotta get a new keyboard. The letters are actually disappearing. I should be typing and not looking at the keyboard, but it's kind of in a weird position, and yeah, anyway. So that sort of solves that problem. They can be used in any versions of the game. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, next one. Helmet of Wisdom. I was just like, how can I give something that's related to their head to them some way? And these were easy ways of doing it. Let's just do the same thing as we did before. This is an easy fix to your wisdom score. And then we can get rid of the referring to a specific mechanic that may or may not be used by the system you're playing with. Okay, that's that one. That was easy. Next, telepathy helmet. So while wearing this helmet, you can communicate telepathically without speaking to any creature you can see. I think that obviously should be attunement, but it should be easy to be able to implement, and that means if you can see them, you can communicate with them. And I think that is where I want to be. I don't want to have a range, because if we're using Shadow Dark, they have abstract range increments. If we're using different versions of D&D or Pathfinder, they're using feet, which would be fine. But I reckon if you can see them, you can communicate with them telepathically. I've marked it as a rare item. I'm not going to make a lot of rare items. My intention today is to make as many very common, simple magic items that aren't too powerful. I think by putting these +2s in here, I've kind of pushed this up into the realm of being a much more powerful magic item too, now that I think about it. That's why +1's considered in the uncommon range, but not if you are using a +2. +2s fall into the realm of being a... It's probably why I did it, so that I could just have a smaller increment than a +2 to... Yeah, anyway. So it would become a rare item. So those are both now rare, aren't they? It wouldn't matter in Shadow Dark because they don't use rare and they don't use that sort of thing. But if you're using 5e, it doesn't really apply to any of the other versions of D&D. I don't even know if Pathfinder uses that sort of system or anything like it. But I'll put it down as rare. Because that's probably where it needs to sit if it's +2 and you're getting that. It's a pretty strong feature. It's a pretty good one too. Okay. Helmet, telepathy, happy with that. Okay, so now I need to try to do this one. And you've got a bunch of your ideas to work with, which is good. So how many have I done so far? I still need a name for this one that stops you from being charmed. And no, I suppose you could say I was almost trying to build Magneto's helmet, but not completely. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Okay, so we're on our way. All right, let's go back to the chat and see what you guys have got to say. And I'll pull across any ideas I have to, and then I'll start working on the stuff that you've given me. So I am, I guess, a little bit behind, aren't I? What power level are we going for? We're going for, I want hashtag common or low level power magic items. Problem with creating high level magic items is you can never use them, right? The idea is to create something that is nice and simple. If it's non-combat related, that's even better. That it is going to just open it up to other things. I know I've created like a bunch that aren't really low level stuff, but yeah. Okay, Jason Conrad, what have you got here? Helmet of the Chameleon. Okay. So wearer can alter their appearance while wearing it. So I like your idea, Jason, but I'm not gonna make it the helmet of the chameleon or the chameleon helmet. I'm saving that for the mask, because we're going to do magic masks at some point, and I had thought about this a long time ago. So even though I may not be making a helmet of the chameleon, what I really want to make is a chameleon mask, because I think that's more in line with the theme of, like, I'm trying to match up the magical effect with the thing that you're wearing, right? And I feel like the mask is the one. So that'll be another day. Since we're dealing with just the head, things you stick on your head, whether it's like a crown or tiara, a helm, a hat. Heck, we can have hats. You can include hats, people. Hats are fine. I hadn't thought about that. We can have a hat, because it's, you know. Or should we divide helmets and hats? Maybe not. I don't think so. I think it's something that goes on your head. Helmets, hats, crowns, tiaras. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I've got that idea for another day. Jason, we'll work on that another day. Mostly looking for cantrip to first level. That's right. But some more potent might be in the list. Exactly. Fred knows my agenda. Helm of the Holy. +1 helm that can 2 contingencies. If the wearer receives total fatal blow, cast Cure All Wounds and Holy Smite around. No. Tinfoil hat prevents the wearer from their mind being read. I can live with this as an idea. I can live with this idea completely. I'm sure this is fine. Helm of Uncompromised can't be charmed. Yeah. Yeah. I just needed a name. I don't know. Uncompromised. It's a bit of a mouthful. But let's do the tin hat one. Let's just grab Mr. Tin Hat. There's a bunch of them that are actually quite cool. But I like that one a lot. Very much a fun one. Okay, Helm of the Lich. Are you serious? Pale Rider gives the wearer the ability to control the undead at the level of Lich. If the helm is removed, the wearer... It's a cool idea, but there's no damn way I'm making a magic item like that today with that kind of power. It's not going to happen. All of this is feeding in, if you haven't figured it out, into a book that I'm trying to write with Wally. So if you wanted me to actually make these things and be available at some point, that's where this is all going eventually. Okay. Saint Nick. Hello, Saint Nick. How are you? How's it going? Let's have a look. Helm of Focus. Hi, Damien. Helm of Focus. Is that the one that stops you from being charmed? You let me know, Damien Bradley, if that's what you were thinking. Because I do have one that stops you from being charmed. Is Focus the what we want, though? Was that what you were talking about? Okay. Right, so here we go. Saint Nick has got here resistance to wisdom saving throws and advantage to wisdom checks because of Magneto's helmet and good. So we have a we already have a helmet of wisdom. Saint Nick already created one. Okay, we've got a helmet of wisdom. It gives you a +2 bonus to your wisdom score, which of course will affect your saving throws and your wisdom checks anyway. So I wanted to mark it that way so that we could port it across as many versions of D&D as possible, and Shadow Dark and Pathfinder, things like that. Uncompromising. Focus. Yes, focus. So we've got 2 words to play with. I'm going to take uncompromised and focus, and I'm going to put them into there as potential names for that helmet. I'm still not completely sold on the idea, but I am going to list your 2 suggestions, since I don't have any better idea right now, frankly. So if you don't have a better idea, you take somebody else's idea, right? Try it out. Try it out for size. Focus. Uncompromise. Focus. Okay. Could be one of those. Which one? I don't know. Next. Spot the chameleon helmet. Can detect the true nature of anyone wearing a mask of the... that's funny. That's pretty funny though. I like that. Feathered cap adds to persuasion versus village officials. What? Is this a cultural thing that I would not understand, Fred? I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. I understand the idea. Why is it so specific? And why is it a feathered cap? Is it Yankee Doodle? Is that something to do with Yankee Doodle? Is it Yankee Doodle Dandy or whatever the heck it is? I don't even remember that thing. Feathered cap? Didn't Yankee Doodle have a feathered cap? I just don't get it. Okay, spiked helmet. Ooh, okay. Unarmed strikes with your head deal in Shy X. It's a pretty good idea. It's a pretty good idea. It's hilarious. I almost feel like that spiked helmet would bleed quite nicely into, somebody had said, a helmet of the ram. I think we need to bleed this in. Of helmet of ramming. It's kind of like Juggernaut. Yours has got spikes on it, which I just like even more. Oh, it has got a lot of potential. I should actually pull those 2 ideas together. Hi Tommy, how you doing? Helm of Light, great for miners. We've got one. We've got the miner's helmet. It's already been created. So you don't have to be worried. I'm worried about that. It's done. Oh, I need to scroll up. And why can't I scroll up? Because for some reason I can't. Okay. So let's go down here. I need to work on some of these ideas that you've given me. Fill them out a bit, eh? Get the screen over to where you are. All right, let's just put this in here. Common. Low power. Okay, all right. You keep feeding me ideas. I'll start working on the stuff you've given me so far. All right. I need to go here. I need to go here. And I need to go here. Okay, let's start with this one. Helmet of Whispers. So I'm not going to make this attunement because this is not going to be something you want to wear. This is one of those things you stick in just to mess with the players. So while wearing this helmet, you constantly hear a voice whispering, unhelpful advice. You have disadvantage on all 20-sided dice rolls. What a shit that would be. Is it really common though? Because that's a pretty big effect. I feel like I should probably move it into something else. It's, do you know what had happened? A lich had way too much time on their hands and decided that there was a market for helmets, magic helmets, and just did a production line and just whipped out as many of these and was selling them cheap on the market. So they're not common, but maybe they're uncommon. What a shit of a magic item to pick up. You're going to get rid of it fairly quickly. It's not. I'm not going to say it's a full-blown curse, but it's certainly not something you're going to like the first time round, or even the second time round. In fact, you want to get rid of it as soon as you discover it. But yeah, it will be entertaining to begin with. All right, here we go. Tinfoil hat. Let's do that one. Because I actually really like the tinfoil hat. And yes. Can I copy this? And then paste it. Something like that. Okay, tinfoil hat. Bold. Having your mind read, this pretty big effect, isn't it? What is the thing that stops your mind being read? Is there a spell? I can't remember what the heck it is. I can't remember what it is. Helmet of Whispers. This here probably need to be in yellow. Uncommon might not be high enough in rarity. Tinfoil hat. While wearing this helmet, your mind can't be read, or any thoughts detected. There we go. Is it uncommon though? I'm trying to think about this. What is the spell that stops your mind being read? Is there one? I have no idea. Again, I don't know if this is going to be an uncommon magic item. It might be common. It might be just common. We'll come back to you. All right. Let's do the spiked helmet and the ramming helmet, and let's try to fold them together a little bit. Which name do I like more? Helmet of ramming, the ramming helmet, helm of ramming, or ramming helmet, or spiked helmet. No, because I feel like if you're going to be doing that, you are kind of ramming, and you probably are headbutting as well. Yes. I just couldn't call it the ramming helmet. Ramming helmet. And if we do that, and then I took this down there, and then it's not a really super powerful item. I think that's as common. Obviously, you can make an attack with it. That's what it's designed for. So I've got a lot of these are sort of very generic. So we go here. These are sort of passive things. What I want is a non-passive statement. Something that's non-passive. Something where I've said roughly you trigger it by using an action. No bonus actions, no free actions. It's got to be tied to your attack in some way. This is the problem, is that normally when you're wearing something like wearing a helmet, you wouldn't normally have it be an activation thing, right? So I haven't really sort of focused on that. This is gauntlets. Let's go here, copy this section. Actually, I should probably copy this whole section. Copy that whole section. Go back up to the top. Okay, all right. Back to the helmet. Let's do this. Paste. Okay. Attunement, yes. When you use an action while when you use an action to attack, while wearing this helmet, you can headbutt or charge your head into an opponent. To do 1d4 piercing damage. So that's that. So we've determined that. You can use either dexterity or strength to make the attack. But basically means it's finessed. I think that, yeah. Deal an additional 1d4? No, I think so. I think we've got that one nailed down. Okay, here we go. The ramming helmet. There we go. Let's put this into there. That's fine as a common magic item. I don't think it needs to be magical. I don't want to give it a +1 or anything like that. It's just, yeah, your spiked helmet, you charge, you do a little bit more damage than you normally do. Or you're whacking with your head, whatever. Okay. Helm of Speaking. An interesting idea. I'm going to take this and I'm going to think a bit more about this because I think this is going to wind up being a much more powerful magic item. And so let's just do that. Paste. Lich one. I haven't deleted it, but yeah, probably not going to work on it, buddy. Probably not going to do that. So next thing. Let's go into our psychic helmet. I don't know. Do we call it psychic? This is like a helmet that does damage, but it would be psychic damage, right? You're affecting their mind. You attack their mind. I'll come back to this. Anyway, Helm of Random Thoughts. Helm of Speaking. Helm of Random Thoughts. I need more time to decide whether this is a very much a role-playing magic item. So it's really going to come down to the relationship between a game master or dungeon master and the player playing the character who has the helmet for this to work and be a fun item, rather than it just being a screw you magic item. So I'm going to have to think a bit more about that one, but I might come back to these. We'll see. Okay, let's go back to the chat. I've worked through a few of them. We've got more here than there was before, so that's a good thing. So drink of water for Fred, and let's see what you guys have cooked up. If I've fallen behind that much. Holy shizes. Okay, all right, let's see what you got here. The cup helmet. You can attach up to 2 potions and cups, drinking 2 at once as a no bonus actions. I'm not doing it. If it's 5e, it's going to be an action or it's going to be a free action, but no bonus actions. I know drinking potions in the new version of D&D is a bonus action, but it's bollocks. Do I like the idea of attaching potions on a helmet? You know, like the beer drinking helmets, right? That's what Shy X is talking about. That's kind of a cool idea. The problem is, if you can drink a potion and just by attaching them, your 2 healing potions when you need to, slurp them up. It's kind of, I've known of people who've made a magic item like this, based off the beer drinking helmet, and I actually think it's too much. It's too good. So it would have to be what I know I would do with this Shy X is, I know what I'm going to do now. Let's make the beer helmet. Literally. That can be a common magic item. And I know a few people in my group and outside of my group that would love it. Instead of the cup amulets, the cup helmet, which I'm not going to create a magic item like this because I've seen people do it before. It's a bad idea. It would be a high-powered magic item, and I don't want to do that. Let's call this the ale helmet. Yeah. You know where I'm going with this, right? We are literally creating it. Here we go. Let's go here. No, it's not rare. It'll be common. Copy. Paste. Here. While wearing this helmet, you can drink and end the supply of alcohol, of ale or mead. Let's get mead. Well, hang on. What is mead? Is mead an ale? It's more of a wine, isn't it? Because it's honey. It's like honey wine, basically. It's a honey wine. This is what I'm doing with your idea, Shy X. Mead. Mead is ale? Question mark? Probably not. No, mead is not ale. Don't think so. It is wine. Let's make it. I want to make it the beer helmet. basically. Let's do that. So let's get rid of the mead. So while wearing this helmet, you can drink an endless supply of ale that is stored in 2 bottles, bottles attached to the sides of the helmet. Okay. Stored. Let's get this. Let's get rid of that. Oh, now we have a common magic item, the ale helmet. Oh god, this is going to be... There are going to be fights in my group if I put this in my game. I can just see it now. John's going to fight for it. Then, more than likely, Simon's going to want it. And then Cajun is one going to get in and on the act. And, yeah, okay, alright. This is possibly going to cause problems in my group. There's going to be a desire to have this. While wearing this helmet, you can drink an endless supply of ale that is stored in oh, hang on, that's wrong. In 2 bottles attached to the side of the helmet. Okay, there we go. Yes, let's find another idea from the chat and work with that. Thank you, Shy X. Good idea. Bear helmet, great idea. Now we have it. We're going to call it the ale helmet rather than the beer helmet, just because it's, you know, ale's a cooler name than beer. And too many people, when they hear me speak, think that when I say the word beer, think I'm either saying the beer that you drink or the bear that eats you and climbs trees and mauls you to death. So we're going to go with ale. Helm of the Skater. Reduced falling damage. Saint Nick. Are you a skateboarder? I get the distinct feeling that this idea is because you're a skateboarder. Is pretty funny. I'm noting it down. I don't know if I'll work with it, but I do get the joke. Would it not be handy to have something like this in real life? Tommy, crown of force cube. Oh, good lord. Not a chance, Tommy. Why am I trying to make a crown of force cube? I don't think so. Whisper sounds like a cursed item. It is kind of like a cursed item, but I don't want to say that you can't get rid of the curse. Like if you take the helmet off, no problems. It'll be a one-shot wonder annoyance once people discover what it is. Okay, heavy helmet has the heavy property, minimum of 13 strength, or reduces speed. Shit. Really? Dear. Heavy helmet has the heavy property. Oh my lord. Okay. Right, I'll take a note of that. Jesus, I can't believe you wrote that. That is hilarious. It's not a useful magic item. It's definitely bad to have. And I would, if I was to write it up, I'm going to structure it so it's going to apply to more versions of any game. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Chitin helmet looks like a glasses, but when domed, transforms into an insect head. Oh. I like this idea. This is very, very clever. Like, I might adjust it a little bit, but I really like this idea. This is pretty sweet. It is stupid as. Let's get real. It's stupid as. But I can see a whole bunch of people wanting to use this. Helm of the Paladin. Can cast 1 first level. No. I hate magic items that say that you can cast a spell. Helm of the Ranger. No. Helm of the Artificer. God, no. That unholy... Artificer, if you like the Artificer, great. Play in Eberron. For me, the Artificer should live in the Eberron setting, not in every setting under the sun. That's for me. I don't want to ever make an Artificer if I can help it. I don't really want to ever have to deal with playing one, and nobody in my group, out of all the Power Gamers, has ever played one, even when I wasn't that game master, and it was an option, just because they know how bad that class is to deal with. Anyway, helmet of the helmet looks like a. Okay, all right, Shyx. Okay, I get your message. Small helmet can only be donned by smaller. Dear. Mixed potions. Bear helmet. Lightning rod helmet. Why? If lightning spell points of origin. So this is to stop you from taking lightning damage. Can speak to undead. Now, that's not a dumb idea. That's not a dumb idea. That's actually a pretty clever idea. I like that a lot. Speaking to the undead is truly an interesting concept, because it makes most undead encounters tend to be you kill them because they're undead, and that's the end of it. This is a really smart idea. I like this a lot. It's now gone to the top of my list to work on. So let's put this in here. I don't know how I'm going to tailor it, but yes, absolutely. Just draws it. Oh, jeez. Are you? Yes, you're not serious. You are serious, aren't you? Okay. I don't know how to structure it so it would work. I get what you're trying to do here. Hooked helmet. Saint Nick, what do you got here? When wearer takes a critical hit, the enemy is grappled. What? Or disarmed. I'm lost as to why that would be happening with a helmet. Fishing. Ornamental scales adorn this helmet. Oh, I see. Why would we have a rod? We would make a rod that's for fishing. Why a helmet for fishing? Tell me, when was the last time you went fishing, or anybody went fishing with a helmet on? Maybe wearing a hat, but not a helmet. So I'll tell you what. Ornamental scales adorn it. You can speak to creatures with a swim speed. Speaking to fishes is not a bad idea. I think we're going to call it a hat, though, rather than a helmet. I'll put that into the just under here. Working on that's not a bad idea at all. Speaking to fish and things that have a swim speed. Okay, all right, so let's work on those. So I will. So I've taken a bunch of your ideas. I'm going to copy and paste this over here, and we're going to keep going. The umbrella keeps your head and body dry and your hands free. Nice. Well, definitely low level and common in terms of power. You're definitely on the right track there, Shyx. Let's see. So I've got a few to work with now. I was talking to Wally DM about this, and Wally was saying, Fred, if I make magic items, they're going to be very strange. And I'm like, don't worry, strange is not bad. Here we go. Let's work on some of these. You gave me some ideas. Let's see if we can turn them into something that might be a bit more useful. So, the undead helmet. Do I want it to be a helmet, or do I want it to be a crown? Or do I want it to be a helm? Do I want to call it the Helm of Undead? Undead Helm? Is there already one? Let's check. Devil Command. Telepathy. There is already a helmet of telepathy, but it works differently. It's suggestion and tech thoughts, and I have called mine something different, and it works differently to this one, so we're fine. Okay, what else? Was there anyone here that was sort of falling into this? No. Okay, so we should be all right to work on this. Okay. So Undead Helm. Okay. If I go there, bring this down. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. Paste. Right. And bold. Bold. I'm not really worried about the ale helmet being attunement. Reading thoughts may require attunement. Whispering thingy, no, doesn't need attunement. Tinfoil hat, so they can't detect or read your thoughts. Probably should be attunement. So we're going to go copy there and just plunk that into there, like so. That one's fine. The RAM should probably be attunement. The ale one, I don't think this is going to help you, but it does give you an endless supply of ale if that's what you want to do with your character. And then speaking with undead, I think attunement is probably a suitable thing to add to it. Okay, so while wearing this helmet, this helm, you can speak to all types of undead creatures or spirits. Now, what is the spell? Speak to the undead. What is the power level of that? I think it might be easier just to find it in this book here. Does anybody remember? Speaking to the undead. Speaking. Where are we? Speak with animals. Speak with dead. Okay. Speak with dead. Okay, so that's the undead helmet. The undead helmet, the only problem is I feel like it's something a helm. So do we want it to be spirits? How does this work? You grant the semblance of life and intelligence to the corpse with a choice allowing it to answer this corpse. Okay. Okay. I think I've got a better idea. So, Spirit Helm. While wearing this helmet, you can speak to all types of spirits. This is a level 3 spell, Speak with Dead, but that's a corpse, not a spirit as such. It's kind of similar. It's kind of in the same vein though. Do I want you to be able to speak to undead? I'm just trying to decide about this now. I think we do, but not necessarily bring a corpse back to life and then talk to them. While wearing this helm, you can speak to all types of spirits and undead creatures. Alright. So what's the way we want to structure this? This is definitely a higher level spell, a higher level effect, so it probably needs to go up the I need to up the ante on that one of it. It's probably going to have to be uncommon rather than common. Yeah, okay, alright. So it'll be an uncommon magic item. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Right, next. Fishing hat. Insect helm. Okay, let's do that, and I think let's go here. Done. Don't do that. Undo this again. Try that again. Okay, let's go back to the insect one. And if I just drop this in here, yes, 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 it's common. When you use an action to activate the helmet. When you use an action to activate the helmet while do I want it to be you put it on and you have to use an action, or does it just go straight to insect head? I reckon it might be better do I want it? Does it really need to be an action? I don't think it does. I think we get rid of the action idea. You can use a free action to activate the helmet while wearing it. Paste it to transform your head into any insect head of your choice. I think that's essentially what you were aiming for, right? It's a cosmetic thing. It's a weird one. We could give you something else with this, like because a lot of insects have really good senses. Sometimes it's their eyes, sometimes their smell, sometimes their hearing. Maybe we give you advantage on wisdom checks. Okay. While wearing the helmet, while wearing the helm, you have advantage on wisdom bracket perception checks to see, hear, and smell creatures and No. Screw all that. I don't have to say all that. Just, it's that. That's it. There we go. Checks to see, hear, and smell. Bingo. Nice and simple. It's got a mechanical effect, and your head looks really weird. It reminds me so much of the Fly movie with Vincent Price. I know there is the other one, the more horrific one, but that's the one yeah. Anyway, let's go down here a bit. The fishing helmet. The fishing hat. This is for speaking with. I thought the fishing hat was about going fishing, which was really strange. That's what I was about to write in here. Was something about fishing, going fishing. Fishing hat. Okay, so let's go here. I don't think it needs to have attunement. Copy. But we'll put this in here. We'll just go like this. While wearing this hat, you have advantage on any ability on any 20-sided dice roll related to fishing. Including using a net. Why the hell am I? No, this is the problem. Is I've been playing 5e for so long. I've got to spell out every siding little consideration along the way, and oh yeah, I don't want to do that. Okay, so that's that one. The umbrella hat. I'm kind of tempted to put that in there, but it's how magical is it? But Fred, even with an umbrella, you can still get wet. Therefore, we must have an umbrella helmet or umbrella hat. That's what it is, right? Okay, so we've got a few more. Let's see what else we've got here. Let's go into chat. What have you cooked up? I don't think you're going to find that too many of these ideas are going to break your game, by the way, people. I think you'll be pretty safe. Some of these are maybe a bit much, but generally, I think you'll be fine. Hello, Dylan. How are you doing? A helmet that lets you see 3 seconds into the future. Advantage on saving throws. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm thinking about this. Advantage on saving throws is not a big deal. My biggest problem is I'm looking at this and trying to decide if it's necessary. Just based on what we already have in the queue here. Did I do something wrong here? Did I copy and paste this in, or did I not? I thought I had selected your little statement and copy. Yeah. And then if I go over here and I look at it. No. It's not there. It's not there. Paste. Did I do it? Okay. All right. Now I did it. This time I did it. Okay. Got it now. Okay. Loafer's sombrero allows you to rest peacefully in the desert. Nice, Fred. Well done. A+. A+. Like a one person's tiny hut. There is no way I'm making a magic item that does what Lemon's tiny hut does, by the way. Okay, all right. Let me copy that down. It is probably going near the bottom. Anyway, let's see what else. It's got to still have some magical thing to it, otherwise it's not a magic item. The baker's hat gives you a piece of dessert, heals 1d4 hit points once per rest. What? Are we serious? when I saw the baker's hat, I thought I was going to get something else, and then you wrote down what it was going to do, and I was like, hang on, I thought the baker's hat was going to make you good at baking. This is a skill that is sadly lacking in every version of D&D and any tabletop role-playing game is that the magic items and class features that allow you to make better meals, make muffins and cakes, and pastries and things like that. We you know, that chef's feat was it a chef's feat or background? Absolutely vital to the game. I'm being very sarcastic. I thought the baker's hat was actually going to make you good at making stuff, but then okay, does nothing, but comes with a guitar. Okay. Sprig light helmet has the light property. I've already got a minus helmet which does this already, so we're covered. The light spell is covered, people. You're right, don't worry. Helm of Seeing. When removed, you lose AC bonus but gain advantage on perception checks. What the heck? Okay. Because you can't see. I get it. Saint Nick, I get the joke. Because it has no eye sockets, no eye holes to see through. So when you take it off, you're actually better at seeing. I understand. The leaf helmet. Every hour collects enough dew for one drink. Smells like a flower. That is a weird magic item, but I kind of like it. It's going near the top of the list. Can I get it to do what I want it to do? No? Yeah? Geesh. Okay. Try again. Oh, you snot of a thing. Oh, there's something weird going on in the formatting. That's probably what it is. Okay, alright. What did I do? What did I just press? What have I done? Something? I don't know. Okay, right. Back to the chat. What have we got here? For helmet of sight, I was thinking it would levitate when removed. Oh. Please watch the Weird Owl video. Foil? Why am I doing that? I have the Helm of the Frog. Oh, good lord. Okay. I have to leave for a bit. No problems, Pale Rider. So I might repeat ideas. That's all cool. That's fine. Shy X, you've been on the fire today. Potted helmet. Clay-like helmet can grow one pot, hydrated and nourished from your sweat. So they're walking around with a pot plant on your head. Oh my gosh. Dear. Alright, okay. That's in the list. Helm of Blasting. Can create a sonic cone like a horn of blasting. Okay. So this is... I kind of get where you're going with this. It's kind of like the psychic helmet idea that we were talking about before. Chrome Dome, a shiny helmet that can reflect bright light into every... Good lord, okay. Alright. Yeah, let's take this idea. And it's going there. Okay, what else we got here? Anything else? Helm of the Frog, the wearer has the ability to lash out its tongue to grab an object within 20... Oh dear. Okay. All right. So that's going near the top of the list, along with pot plant. These are getting stranger and stranger. They're getting very, very strange. Okay. Let's keep going. The flower helmet smells pleasantly within. Okay. Spoiled fruit helmet. It's like a fruit basket that's going off. Smells like fruit. Helm of the Diver. The wearer has... Oh! Oh, come on. if you're going to have a helmet that allows you to breathe underwater or hold your breath or whatever, then it's just got to be water breathing spell basically. I'm not against the idea of making a helm of water breathing. I don't think there is one. I don't think anybody ever. No, helm of underwater action. What is that? While wearing this brass helmet, you can breathe underwater and gain. Yeah, somebody's already kind of created something like this. Low, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of already been created. We don't have to reproduce it. Let's just see what else you've got here. The diver. Spriglight would have the light weapon property. Helm of the Stag gives the wearer the movement speed and jump speed of a stag. I don't know that I want to make you faster by wearing a helmet. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get the idea. We're going to put antlers on the helmet, so it's a helm of the stag, but it makes you faster. I don't know. I'll think about that a little bit. It's not. I think that's going in the middle somewhere. I'll come back to you. I'm not against the idea of a helm of a stag. I just don't know if I want it to be a speed thing. Okay, Dylan. A helm that can magically fit any animal inside and doesn't add weight, so your animal don't die. Items will be destroyed, but okay, I see what you're going with this. So you can stick your animal in a helmet so that it can't be killed by fireball and various other things that might kill it, like your familiar that you don't want to have to keep replacing. I get. Or your animal companion that you don't want to die. It's got to follow you around some way, but you just want to lead it to battle, but it's on the outskirts, and suddenly the fight sort of radiated to where your animal companion was, and the DM's fireball accidentally incinerated it. I kind of understand what this is trying to do, Dylan. If you've got that problem, it's going to happen no matter what. Okay, next, Pale Rider. Burrowing helmet. What? The bearer can burrow through dirt and soft rock like a baby purple worm. What? A helmet makes you burrow, makes you a digger. Helm of the Hunt. You can track anything. I like that more. Helm of the Stag. Hunting helm. I like that a lot. That's actually that's pretty good, actually. It's there's a few here that are pretty good, actually. I like that a lot. I think we're going to just call it hunting helm, though. I'm not fond of having too many words in there, but I think that's a good idea. I don't have a problem with animals dying. I am the DM, so I think my players would like this. Ah, so you're trying to make it for them? Do you know, I've killed so many animal companions and so many familiars and so many little critters and so many pets over the years that I have built up a pretty decent resistance to players getting upset by it. My suggestion is either keep blowing them up and burning them to a crisp, okay, and just don't worry about it, or just don't blow them up anymore, okay? This is really simple. We don't have to have a magic item for that. Yeah. Okay, so this is... So... okay, I think I'm ready to work on the next bunch of things. I've collected everything from chat. Let us start working through this list of different things. And so... hunting helm. So let's go down. I think this is definitely common. I don't think we need to go too high in terms of what it is. What are we doing here? I just want it to be a passive thing that just is always on. I don't want it to be something you have to turn on and off. You might be noticing that a lot of these helmet magic items, they don't have on and off buttons. It's quite deliberate on my part. I don't have a problem with having stuff like that, but I don't think that needs to happen all the time. So if I can, and helmets feel like that's one of those things that are they're always on, I'll do that. Okay, so hunting helm. Do I really want to give that attunement to it? Fishing one, not really. This one, not really. So while wearing this helmet, well, we don't want to give it an ability, a magic item. If we give a magic item an ability, that it would always work no matter what the terrain. I think it's better to simply make the chance of being successful better if there's a dice roll. I'm not a fan of dice roll mechanics, but sometimes it's the easiest way to deal with things. Like if you're really good at stuff anyway, what we can do is we can build an aspect to this and say that when you're wearing the helmet, you're trained in tracking and hunting. Okay, while wearing this helmet you are you gain expert knowledge in tracking and hunting. Okay. While wearing this helmet, you gain expert knowledge in tracking and hunting. Yeah, that's fine. And then let's just do this. Copy. Let's just do that. Hunting. Okay. While wearing this helmet, you gain expert knowledge in tracking and hunting on any tracking through any environment. I think that's what you were trying to achieve here, right? Okay, so we've got that. I'm fine with that. That's all right. That's cool. Okay, so now we're going to create a mechanical thing for it. Paste. Okay, so okay, so your helmet grants advantage on any D20, any 20-sided dice roll related to. Okay. I kind of repeated myself a little bit by having tracking and hunting again and tracking and hunting again. Is there a way of pulling it together so it's one sentence? I think about this a bit more. While wearing this helmet, you gain expert knowledge in tracking and hunting through any environment. Your helmet grants advantage on any 20-sided dice roll related to tracking or hunting. In addition, In addition, your helm grants. Okay, so this is okay, so would I say that this is common? No, I think this is not common anymore. Or is it? Tracking and hunting. I think attunement. I think I will add attunement for this because this is actually a little stronger than just a simple. Okay. Okay, all right. Another drink of water. Let's take this, bring this up. Frog helm. Okay. I'm just trying to think how this will work. Sorry if I'm very quiet right now, but I'm percolating. My brain is going ting, 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 ting. Okay. So it's kind of like, this is kind of like Mage Hand, isn't it? Let's make it 30 feet. 20 feet, 30 feet, 30 feet. And I think we need to definitely still do something else with this. Let's go, let's take this bit here, copy, paste, fine. Okay, now I need to build in the rest of it. Copy. Okay, so the wearer of this helmet has the ability to lash out their tongue to grab an object within a maximum range of 30 feet. Okay. Yeah. Can I live with that? Yeah, I can, because it's basically Mage Hand, isn't it? Essentially just made it of tongue. Clever. It's really quite clever. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, so where am I at here so far? Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, all right, let's see. Let's see, where are we on the chat? You got some more stuff that I need to look at? Or, my God, you still got, geez, you got a lot more ideas. I didn't expect there to be so many ideas floating around today. It's really hot here in this office. I might have to end early. Helm of Echoes, the wearer can hear what has happened in the area in the past, how far they can go. Back is up to the GM. Right. It's a very interesting magic item. I actually quite like it as a concept. It is really, really interesting. Pale Rider is pretty impressive. All right, Dylan. A helm that that gives proficiency to all saving throws and skills for a set amount of time. Maybe 10 minutes. But you will have disadvantage on the roll for 30 minutes after that. No. No. Proficiency on all saving throws and all skills. 10 minutes, whether it's 1 minute or 10 minutes, it's a lot. There are magic items out there, but they're not low-level magic items. And I'm pretty sure this would be a terrible idea to do that. It is better to have specific. Pets don't die in my games unless the players try to have them affect combat. Yeah, there you go. You just exclude them from the fireball. Okay, Dylan. What else you got here? A helmet that lets you swap stats with an enemy in a battle. But you cannot control what enemy it is or ends. It's an interesting concept, but it's not a low-level feature ability, so I'm probably not going to do that one. Helmet that lets you swap stats with an allied player. But what's the rationale? Usually when there's a magic item like that, I can see a narrative concept behind it, but I don't see a narrative why that would make sense at all. What's the narrative behind that, Dylan? I don't know. Crown of Knowing. The wearer can detect any lies or falsehood. Is this Zone of Truth? You're using is it Zone of Truth as a spell? Pale Rider? I don't think I've got anything. It's not a bad idea, but I don't think Zone of Truth is a low-level spell. I think it's a very, very high-level spell. And again, it says Zone of Truth is a second-level spell. Okay. So it would probably, Zone of Truth would probably fall into the realm of being maybe uncommon, or would it be common? Zone of Truth. It's probably common, but you're working it all the time. I'm just a little bit worried about how a magic item like that would be used in the game. Do you know what I mean? Totally makes sense to make a magic item of this nature. Really does. Totally makes sense. I get it. Totally makes sense. I'm just thinking in terms of how I would use it, and yeah. Your 2 H point hamster took 73 points of fire damage, and its very small pile of ash blowing away in the wind. Okay, all right, okay, all right. Helm of Fire breathing. You breathe fire whenever you speak, and intensifies the louder you speak, but you cannot stop it. Best used with a curse, so you cannot take it off. Yeah. I don't know about a fire breath helmet. I know players want to breathe fire. I know it's a thing. This is why the Dragonborn is such a popular species or race to play. But I don't know that I'm up for that one. Let's have a look. I'll take a note of it, and I'll put it sort of, I don't in the middle, near the end, maybe near the end of my list here. Okay. All right, what else have we got here? Crown of Thorns. Isn't that a spell? Where it can shoot out types of poison side. I don't know that I want to produce a Crown of Thorns helmet or hat or anything like that, or crown of thorns. I'm sure there is a spell like that, and we would just been, a lot of these are just reproductions of a spell, right? So it makes it easy. Crown of Madness. Oh, it's not Crown of Thorns, it's Crown of Madness. Okay, alright, so wasn't quite what I was thinking. Crown of Thorns. Alright, well, so I've noted down the fire-breathing helmet, which I'm not too keen on working on. The Thorns one I've taken down as well, but it's probably near the end of the list as well. What else do we have here? Okay. Crown of the Fourth Wall. Dylan, you got a really good sense of humour, by the way. I've noticed as I've been reading through here, it's very subtle, but it's there. The player can speak with the DM. Dear. Yeah, Dylan's definitely a DM. Okay. A helmet that makes you fall asleep and wake up at a set time every day. Oh, good Lord. I was thinking that the helm of knowing is something a princess would wear to interview suitors, so not too common. Right. Yeah, okay. I get that. So it would be uncommon. It's always an effect. I'm just a little bit worried about it in terms of what you could do to it. Helm of poison, your sweat is poisonous. we got some really real crack up ideas here. Windmill helm, spins in the wind. Okay, all right. Jesus, a lot of this is so funny. Okay, I have not done 20 or 25 or 30, but I will. But I'm going to stop. I will show you what I have so far. Okay, I will go back probably through some of these later on during the week, or at the end of the week, when I'm ready to sort of finalize or tidy things up. I will put it all up onto Patreon as I normally do, and that will be the deal. So this is what we have. We have the first one. We have the Helm of Heroism. We have the Helm of Uncompromised or Focus. I'm not sure whether I like either of those, but I can't come up with a better idea yet. We've got the Miner's Helmet. We've got the Helmet of Intelligence. It's exactly what it sounds like. The Helmet of Wisdom. The Telepathy Helmet. We have the Helmet of Whispers, which is weird. The Tinfoil Hat. We have the Ramming Helmet. The Ale Helmet. Yes, it's a bear helmet, people. We have the Spirit Helm. The Insect Helm. The Fishing Hat. The Hunting Helm. We have the Frog Helm, and then we've got a bunch of ideas that I sort of have put in there, but I haven't really worked with. So we've got a few. We've got a few here, and I am certainly keen to work through a few more of these and sort of tidy them up and get them in there. But I'm not going to do that today because it's hot. I need to eat. I'm feeling a little bit flushed, and I'm also hoping, as I said, that as many of these magic items as possible will be able to be used in 5e. That's my intention, right? But I want it to be used by any version of D&D where possible. Like, I would very much like to think that whatever I'm making is going to be utilized by more than just one game system. So 5e, yes, but AD&D, Pathfinder for sure, basic D&D, which is Rules Cyclopedia, and Shadow Dark, which is my new favorite Dungeons and Dragons game. because Shadow Dark is essentially just Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, and I love this thing. Super simple, and everything you need is in one book, which is amazing. Dungeon Master Guide, Player's Handbook, and Monster Manual all in one place is a refreshing change. It's a refreshing change from the stuff that I've seen before. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to leave you. I will be back next week doing, is it Game Master Preparation? Is it Improvising? I think it's next. That'll be the next week. I'll do the improvising one for the last time. I won't be doing it again, probably forever, unless something very significant changes, which I doubt is going to happen. So it'll probably be the last time. But I will be working on, as I said, in the background, I'm working on a lot of stuff. Stuff for 5e, monsters, classes, species and races, and backgrounds. So I'm working on that stuff, but it's a big job. But I'm also working on stuff for this, and I'm also working on a great huge bunch of magic items as well. So we're getting there. It's only a matter of time. When the floodgates open, it'll be quick, I'm sure. Anyway, I'm going to say a huge thank you to all of you for hanging out with me. It's been a fun time. I really have appreciated your ideas. You guys have been a hoot with your ideas. Oh, hang on. Really quick, I thought of one thing that might be good. A helm that can change your race temporarily. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. I remember the I remember the changing the sex thing did not go down well in a few tables I've played, and I don't think it's a good idea. But you're welcome, Dylan, to make it yourself by all means. Have you made magic item or magic helmets for your tabletop role-playing games? No, 58%. Well, if you have been here and you answered this question, yes, you probably have. Yes, 35%. And then just watching 5% out of 17 votes. Well, that's good. We've got a few people in here today. A lot of interesting ideas. Like I said, I'll put this up onto Patreon. And yeah, otherwise you'll be writing up your own stuff from the live chat, I guess. You saw what I was doing. I'm sure you can duplicate it. Okay, so huge thank you to everybody who's been watching and listening. Huge thank you to everybody who took part in the poll. I really need to say a big shout out to everybody in chat that I've been talking to today who's been providing your ideas. Really appreciate you sharing your ideas. Thank you to my patrons who support me on Patreon. Otherwise, this probably would have shut down a long time ago. I'm getting closer to that day. But it's not there just yet, but we're getting closer. Anyway, thank you so much. So wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the night, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours, as long as they're being nice to you, I guess. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.